What's going on, sports card hobby family? We are back again.
In this video, you will learn how not to travel.
It is another day. It is another sports card video. If you're brand new here, looking for pretty much daily sports card and collectible style content, hit the subscribe button down below. We are inching up to 20,000 subscribers. Help us get there, friends. I would very much appreciate it. Also, connect with me on IG at SportsCardDad. Today, we're going to talk about, are sports cards difficult to sell or not difficult to sell? We've got conflicting data all over the place.
Entrepreneur.
Discussion time. Before I get started, huge shout out to today's video sponsor. Speaking of selling sports cards, DC Sports 87. Maybe you don't feel like putting it all on eBay yourself. You just want to outsource the thing. There's a company that does this very, very well. DC Sports 87. Send them all the stuff. They list it all up. Auctions end. People pay. You request payouts. 1 business day turnaround time to get funds on the way to you. It's just simple, and that's why so many people use DC Sports 87. Give them a shout, give them a checkout. All right, what a absolutely strange time in the hobby.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
Is it not? Is it not weird? Maybe I say this every single day. The one thing that we've talked about here over the last few days, or actually really the last few weeks, is the absolute ascension of third-party grading and how it's just kept on rolling. It's shocking to me that in this weird economy in the United States, I know I say this quite a bit, and some people are going to say, we have this amazing economy here. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't feel like that. When I look around, I have a lot of friends that are going through layoffs. I see it all over the place, and then I see a jobs report where it's like, we've added 1 billion new jobs, and it's like, where? How? Because I'm only really seeing a lot of people facing layoffs and facing trouble. And yet here we are where, literally PSA is grading more cards than they've ever graded. All the other grading companies also just chugging along. In many cases, also grading all-time highs in their history. And then on the flip side of this, you hear about, folks are having trouble selling cards. These cards are illiquid. These are liquid cards versus illiquid cards. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. And this is kind of one of those where viewership maybe can help shed some light on what the heck is going on here. And there's probably a ton of nuance to this. It probably depends so much on which niche we're buying, selling, different trends, and so forth. And through strange economic times, card shows are slammed. Card shops are busy and they're opening. I made a video yesterday on this to where I think that there's going to be consolidation in business. And that's what I was getting at. A lot of people just read the title. They don't really watch the video or actually listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like every single hobby shop is going to be gone. What it's going to be, though, to me, is what I think is a consolidation into fewer stores. I think there's going to be fewer LCSs out there. But I heard some great feedback yesterday that was like, hey, look, if Fanatics and Topps are giving out direct accounts and there's not really distributors, why wouldn't we see more card shops? And actually, that's a pretty decent point. So that prediction could be way off. Again, I guess we'll find out in 18 months to 2 years. I just think that there's going to be a lot of shops that aren't getting up to speed on stuff. They're going to get knocked out. But you know what? That's natural in any sort of business environment anyway. So there we go. But we have illiquid cards that can't sell, or is it just that they're illiquid because we can't sell them for what we want to sell them for? And so making the choice to not take a $10 loss, not take a $50 loss, or maybe not take a $200 loss, that's what makes the card illiquid. Because we know that, look, you throw it on eBay, 99-cent auction, someone's going to buy it. It might be 99 cents. Maybe you paid $100 for it, unfortunately, and maybe it's selling for 99 cents. And I think that's really a lot of the holdup as far as cards being illiquid at this point. I go back to, if PSA is grading 1 million cards a month, if SGC is grading 100,000 cards a month, has to be that cards are liquid and people are making money, or how are they affording to continue to grade and grade and grade? Now we've looked, PSA, almost half their business now is TCG. So then I'm kind of wondering, well, is there just people making a lot of money on the TCG side of things? In other words, just grading out Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, and maybe they're able to flip those. Have the flippers, when we talk about sports cards, of course we've got flippers and sports cards, but is there just a bunch of flipping going on the TCG side, a space that I don't really live in, on that Pokemon side, and they're just having a ton of success grading cards out with these companies and selling them? Because again, you can't have these grading numbers if the dealers, the collectors, the flippers, whatever, the speculators are not able to grade the cards and then move them over. They have to be able to move these cards for it to make any sense, or the machine stops. Then it would be like, hey, you know what? I know grading's $15. I know it's $20. It's pricing is good. I just can't sell the cards. So you would think that would slow down grading as a whole. I don't believe that we have enough buy, hold collectors to grade 1 million cards a month. I just don't think that that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is mostly collectors that are grading that are not trying to turn around and flip, trying to move those cards. It's very, very interesting because we've got kind of conflicting data, so many moving parts. Probably the most nuanced discussion in the hobby is buying and selling cards and what's liquid and illiquid, because it changes at any given time. Supply, demand, all that stuff changes at any given time. Player pops off having a great season, it's up, it's down. Look at what's a perfect example of this? Jason Dominguez. Look at the rocket ship and then the crash. And then it'll probably, go back up in the off season for Jason Dominguez. This guy literally walks into the league, of course, high prices, and then hasn't done anything, hasn't played. Prices are kind of plummeted on him. And then he gets in and he has 2 home runs. He has amazing start, and then he hurts himself. He's injured. So you have this shot up, shot down. It's insanity. The sports card world is pure insanity. And so are cards tough to sell? Are they easy to sell? What is easy to sell? Is it lower end? Is it mid end? Is high end stuff? Because prices have come down, do we have the whales coming back and saying, you know what? These LeBron James cards are a lot less expensive than they were 18 months ago. Or, certain Michael Jordan or certain whatever it is. It's like, you know what? Maybe it's time to get back into it. It's actually, to me, I think of kind of a fun buying season for cards right now, because you've seen really prices come down on a lot of stuff outside of 101s, high grade vintage, and different things that are really setting all-time highs that, still doing that. You're seeing a lot of kind of the regular cards that people can afford that are a little bit more available. They've come down in price so much to where, yeah, you can collect these cards. You can get in these cards, fairly low. I also kind of wonder too, another little side tangent, we're definitely in a bearish market as far as card prices go, singles market on the secondary market for a lot of cards. Now, I'm not talking about every card. Again, a lot of nuance to this. But if we go back a few years where we were in kind of the bull market, if you go back to really I would say this started in 2016 trending upward, and then we hit kind of that 2019, 2021 where it really kind of hit the all-time highs at that particular time. But we have been in this kind of bear market for a while, and it just feels like there's just so many good buying opportunities out there. So I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Buying, selling, what's liquid, what's not liquid? What are you having success with? What are you not having success with? I want to learn something today. Put your feelings down below. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.